Welcome to Talks on Tuesday. I'm hosting today. Mary is gallivanting around England, jolly old England still. She'll probably be back next week. And I'm here with Barbara and Julie. And my topic today is an ode to friendship. I thought maybe we could discuss what cultivates a good friendship. And something else. What was it? What cultivates a good friendship? And I think I also mentioned my grandfather Stan. Hi, Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Well, anyway, as most of you know, I was really close to my grandmother growing up, but she passed first, and I spent 12 years at the end of my grandpa's life living with him and caring for him. And when I first moved in with my grandfather, and my grandparents really were friends. I was so friends with them growing up. But I learned a lot about friendship from my grandfather. And because he literally was just so kind. And I witnessed how he interacted with people. And I witnessed the way he was always like sunshine whenever he was in the presence of other people. And even if you were coming to visit him because, he was in a hospital for a certain ailment or whatever, and you walked in the room, I was always there with him as his caretaker. But if you came in to visit him, you were always concerned about him in the hospital bed, but it wasn't long that he would like turn it to what you were interested in. And he made it, I he literally remembered everything anybody ever said to him about what is going on in their life. And when you saw him next, he showed you by bringing it up again. How is that project in your garage? Or do you have the, air conditioning unit installed yet? A lot of it was handyman stuff with his buddies and stuff like that. But, and also for me personally, just living in the house with him, especially when I was in his house for 8 years, I had a lot of time to kind of do hobbies and stuff. And quilting or painting furniture or, antiquing furniture and doing the little crackle finishes or whatever. He would always come out and um, just totally show interest in how I'm doing. And I will always laugh about how he was a little bit of a perfectionist. And sometimes he would kind of point out, especially with my quilting, that maybe my seams weren't lining up or whatever. But I would always say, Grandpa, I'm doing that on purpose. But it's just, I think for me, and I try to do this when I interact with people, just show interest in what other people are doing. And it really does make them feel loved. Um and I've been thinking a lot about how this topic kind of aligns with spirituality and the oneness that we all are. And we are defined by how we treat other people. And on the surface, it kind of seems like an ego thing, like maybe how people see me, might be how I am defined in their mind. But the truth is, you are defined by how you treat other people, but it's all inside of you. It's how you define yourself, and it really does come down to self-worth and self-love. And it's a self-full thing to treat other people nice. And kind of passionate about that. And it is, I kind of loved how I put in the topic an ode to friendship, because it was kind of an old fashioned way and of saying it. And this is the month where my grandpa would have been 103. His birthday is this month in a few days. And so that's kind of a dedication to him and making me a better person. And what do you guys think?
Wow.
Love to hear from you guys. We're here for a half hour and we're here to share.
Well, I will share. It's just, I agree with everything you just said. I think it's beautiful when you have people in your life that have interest in what you're doing, have interest in you, and want to know more about that and explore your life. And it's returned. You know, you want to know more about them. And it's beautiful if you have shared interests. That makes it a lot of fun. I also know that I have friends who challenge me, who instill or a desire for me to go further than what I would think I could do. You know, who look for me to challenge myself. I like that. I like being in conversations that intrigue and inspire a desire for me to explore a topic I've not even thought about. It's like, wait a minute, tell me more about that. I want to know more, and I want to. I really want to. I want to mix it up. I want to find more about what's going on, and it encourages me and it excites me, and I love the friendships where we could just go sit and make a jigsaw puzzle and or bake cookies or something. I love all of it. You know, it's just it has so many different flavors and so many different ways of communicating. And I love my friends that I could go on a big old hike with, you know. That's very different. Conversations are different everywhere you go. I like to mix it up. So, but yes, the special ones that remember what you talked about last time and bring it up again and follow up on it. I love that. That's beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks both of you. Oh, Julie, you want to go ahead?
Well, go ahead, Barbara, go ahead. I'm
Okay.
ruminating sort of, so.
It's a great topic, and I love hearing what both of you shared, and totally agree with that. And yeah, Chelsea, when I saw your topic yesterday, I was thinking a little bit about friendship and what it means to me. And I have friends. In fact, this weekend I got together with the daughter of one of my oldest friends. She and I were born on the same day and have been friends since like third grade, have the same name, same birthday. And so her daughter, who's a flight attendant, came to Portland and spent the day here. So we got together and got caught up. And you know, I was thinking then, just that deep connection that I had with this young woman through her mother, and who, you know, it's almost like I knew her before she was born, just because of the relationship that I had with her mom. But it's just, you know, I'd like to go back to what you're saying, Chelsea, about the connection with ourself. And, you know, if we like scream at somebody on the street who flips us off or whatever, you know, we cut in front of them and they yell at us and then we yell back. That is a total reflection of not only our regard or disregard for them, but more of a feeling of what we carry with us, you know. And we hear so often, at least I do lately, especially, it's really not about me, it's about them, you know, the person who you know, does whatever the act is that is bothersome towards us, and how we respond is really a testament to our own connection with ourself and our understanding of that awareness of that we are all, you know, all one. So I'll stop now.
Okay. This made me think a lot, and my really good friends, I have a lot of friends, but there are several, 1, 2, one, two, three, I guess I could say, that were also really good and have passed away in the last years, several years. And so what I was thinking about was with my friend Nina, who is been ill for a while, and our relationship, because we met in the early 80s, and we were good friends. We had a lot of experiences together. We lived together in Italy, and we, sometimes I wonder if we would have ever been friends if we hadn't had that connection at that time. Because she was very different than me, but also her birthday is very close to mine, and we had several similarities at the same time, even though she was a kind of a different person. But anyway, our relationship sort of broke off for 7 years, and not because I wanted it to, but she did it. And even though that was the case, she stayed in my heart, and I missed her a lot. And what I came to realize when we reconnected that 7 years later is that what I learned from her is that I needed to listen. I realized that I didn't listen well enough. And I think in friendship, that's really important, is that you listen to what someone is saying, and you don't have to comment on everything, and be patient with them. Like now she can't remember things, and she tells me things more than once, and I just listen, and I don't always say, you told me that already, but to be that kind of a friend, to be compassionate and caring, and I think with my other friends too, that I am, I think I have good friendships, people that care about me and that miss me, then I moved away, and it's nice. And that's what came up for me as far as friendship. And I love what everybody else said as well. And as far as it being spiritual, Chelsea, yeah, just in the feeling of your friend, it can be spiritual, in the way that the friends of mine have passed over. They right there, they come into my dreams, or in that way, it's got a spiritual quality it can be really beautiful. And now I'm done.
Yeah, it reminds me of my dream last night about one of my best friends from elementary school, Liz. I had this elaborate 2-hour dream about her, and I just love her to death. And you know, I spoke about what I learned from my grandfather, and but I he also taught me, when I did rejoin and live again with my husband, who's on this call with us. I think he taught me to be a better person all the way around, and I think both me and my husband benefited from our interaction with my grandfather, and we both treat each other differently after having experienced all the lessons we learned from such a wise man. But so just, hi, honey.
That's so sweet. And earlier when we were chatting, Chelsea, and you asked me what constitutes, or what are some things that you need to be a good friend or have a good friendship. And the first thing I came up with was lots of laughter.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
from the heart, non-judgmental, and common interests, I think.
Yeah, and I agree. I have to just put in that my relationship with my girlfriend I was talking about, she changed. You know, sometimes when people are ill, they change. And she's changed a lot, and we just laugh a lot. You know, she's kind of opened up more, and I can say something to her that somebody else might be offended by, which they shouldn't be, but we just laugh. So you're so right, Barbara.
Yeah.
That reminds me of
Important to me. Oh, go ahead, Darren.
I thought maybe I was still muted. The laughter, yeah, I really resonate with that. And it reminds me of a sort of contemplation I had recently about that show, Friends. I used to totally love it. I was obsessed with it. And I know there were people that absolutely hated it. And I had my various thoughts about why they might hate it. But now I know why. And just in a nutshell, the type of friendship that we're sort of forced to watch on TV or whatever is just a very dumbing down of human beings. And I never realized before until you start to realize what's required in being a good friend. And for me, it is a profound responsibility for your own emotions and your ability to receive yourself when you're triggered, specifically by that other person. Yeah, a few experiences with people who you can laugh with them a lot. And then when something happens and they lose that ability to be curious about you and their ability to be responsible for their own feelings, everything's done. It's over. It's that important. And anyway, it just, all these TV shows, they don't really show the heart, the stuff from the heart in a very good way, like we're discussing here. I don't think. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that for right now.
Yeah.
Darren,
I
I just wanted to say, Darren, that was a beautiful share. And it just reminded me that we need we need to find the friendship in ourselves and love
Yeah.
ourselves, because that's what you did when you found that person wasn't paying attention to you or interested in what you were doing. That broke off, and that was you befriending yourself. And that's
Yeah.
so beautiful and so important. That's what I do. Oftentimes I will engage in conversations with people and we'll have a good time, and then the conversation flips and it's like, that's no longer interesting to me, or that's no longer something that I value. And so I'll just sit and be quiet and let them go on and be present with them, but I don't share the same feelings or opinions or thoughts or whatever. So I'll just let them be without commenting or making them, question what they're doing. It's just, I will just remain with what is important to me. It makes me feel good. So that's you being your friend to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Friends, all friends are gifts, and the gifts are all different. Some friendships last a lifetime, some last a season, and then they're gone. But they're all in a way little gifts, the way we interact with each other. And there's something learned and gained, and then we move on sometimes.
Yeah, super important. I am quite aware of the benefits that I receive from every single person I have ever met or been friends with for whatever length of time. There was such enormous benefits, and the reasons why things end are perfect. It's so perfect. I can't even, it's so profoundly perfect why our little souls, our little energy systems move people in and out of our lives at the rate at that it happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you said a great word. You said little souls. And I just,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's read Neil Donald Walsh's book. It's called The Little Soul in the Sun. And that is such a beautiful children's book. And it's just
Mm.
precious because it talks about how we are all one. We are all lights in the sun, and we all come to this earth to play a role and to engage with things. And I want to learn this, and I want to experience myself as this. And before we arrive, there are people say, well, when you go down there and you want to experience yourself as forgiveness, then you're going to need somebody to forgive. And so somebody volunteers to be that essence of challenge for you so you can experience yourself as forgiveness. And so though they are the challenge, they are also your friend because they gave you that opportunity to choose forgiveness and to feel forgiveness. And so it's a very interesting role to play, but what a true friend to give you that gift. So
Yeah. Cecilia, I never get tired of hearing about that concept.
yeah,
It doesn't matter if it comes from me or anybody else, but
yeah,
it's just, it's everything. Like if you don't have that,
yeah,
life's not going to be, it's just going to be
right.
chaos.
But yeah, it's a beautiful book. Pick it up if you can.
What's the author's name again?
Neil Donald Walsh. He wrote the Conversations with God books.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so he wrote this. It's actually in one of the 3 books, but he put it as a solo children's book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Barbara.
Oh no, I was just going to say carrying a grudge is a heavy load. And
Yeah.
that forgiveness is just, that's a gift for ourselves also. But
Right.
Go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, one of the things I've been contemplating lately for myself, and there's been a really interesting specific conversation happening that I've noticed in the Solomon Speaks gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching the replays. I haven't been able to join, regarding how to be friends with someone who has an information stream that they have going on. And everybody has different information streams. And we tend to gravitate towards different kinds of ones, especially, well, in this particular instance, with regard to the big characters in the world and the roles that they seem to be playing and the effects that they seem to be having on our lives, politics, corporate leaders, whatever. And there's all these income streams. I always say income streams, information streams that some people are able to receive and others can't. And that's kind of what's dividing us, our where we're getting our information. It's dividing people. So the contemplation for me is how, and Dr. E had just such a beautiful spiel about this, and I watched it a few times. And getting idealistic and having your idealisms create chasms between you and others. And it's everything right now because of social media, and we're all hating each other because of our various information streams. And I went through that. I know the information. I like to have all different sides. I like to be in that. I'm looking at this from side number 3, not side number 1 or side number 2, but side number 3. And it will end a friendship if either person is one-sided and just can't just lightly contemplate other information streams. You know what I mean? Like it's a stumbling thing right now. And I'm finding I can't have relationships if somebody says to me, oh, we just can't talk about that then. if we can't talk about something, and if somebody can't just be curious and contemplate something lightly, then what are we going to do? Like, I'm walking on eggshells. And I know that the individual that's been sharing this on a regular basis feels like, frustrated, exasperated, walking on eggshells. And it's sad.
Well,
I
if
actually
someone,
had it. Oh, go ahead, Chelsea.
I'll just say quickly, if someone says, we can't talk about that right now, that's really them saying that I just really have a block there, and it's just not good for me to just, I'm unable to, maneuver over it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's their block, not something that's really between the two. But go ahead, Barbara. What were you going to say?
Oh, I see that Louis Trace put something in the chat, and then Gordy puts in create separation. Yeah, totally, Gordy. That definitely creates separation. But Louis Trace, did you want to jump in? We have a couple more minutes left. Yeah. Oh.
Just remember, Darren, that the blocks and the different information streams, they're just all illusion. It's really not there.
Yeah, that's what's so interesting. It's interesting for me too, because sometimes I get really wrapped up in a few pieces of information about certain big things, quote unquote big things that are happening that I feel like I need to make decisions about in my life. And then you pull back and you go to place number 3.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, whatever.
The overall observer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Louis Therese says in the comments, I'll read it for her. With the connection with your grandparents, give you the background in knowing where you came from and give you so much more confidence. And I think that's a little bit of a question. She's asking me, well, my grandparents raised me. They were my parents, yet they didn't do it in the physical house. They did it from afar. And yes, I owe them all. I owe so much to being able to have a foundation to build myself on for what I am now. But yes, that meant a lot to me. That's a roundabout way of saying it. But yes, I owe them a lot. But we've got to wrap it up, dear friends. The replay of this is going to be on our Talks on Tuesday YouTube channel. And if you happen to have some spare time, go to YouTube and like and subscribe our channel and see the various replays. I think next time I take a big car trip, I'm gonna see if I can like Bluetooth the channel through my audio of my car. I'm gonna try that next and maybe go through and listen to them all. But it's been great to be here with all of you, and we'll be here next week. And so grateful for all of you and the friendship that each and every one of you brings to my life is without measure. And I love you all. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks,
Thank you,
Renee.
Chelsea.
Thanks, Gordy. Thanks for being here and just in presence. It means a lot.
Bye, everyone.
Chelsea.
Bye.
Great topic, and happy heavenly birthday to your grandpa.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.